Hello friends, welcome to my video on matter in our surroundings. Anything which occupies space and has mass is matter. So, what is meant by the term matter? It means the things what we eat, drink or breathe is the matter. So, matter in other words, okay, it can also be retermed as matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. So just I'm reframing the word, okay. What is meant by matter means matter is anything that has mass and it occupies some space. So what is meant by this mass and what is meant by the term space? So the term mass denotes that the thing has weight in it. So we have seen that matter is anything which has mass and it occupies space. Okay, so the liquids, the solids and the gases around us are made up of matter. So this lesson focuses on matter in our surroundings. So we just in general say that all the solids, liquids and gases. So these are the different forms of matter which are around us. So in general what the scientists say is a matter is made up of tiny particles that clump together. Okay, for example, if we take a chalk, okay, or a book or whatever it is, so each and everything is a matter. So what happens is this matter is made up of number of particles which are combined together, or they clump together to form a matter. Okay, they all, so that's what they used to say, no. So a chalk, the dust particles, okay, the dust particles together, okay, combine, okay, they are combined together and it forms a chalk. So a car, so how the car is built, it is made up of several small the components which are connected and it forms a car. So same way, okay, how a line is drawn, so a line is drawn by keeping the dots next to each other. Okay, it is made up of n number of dots which are placed next to each other. So matter is anything which has mass and occupies space. So mass denotes the word. So here the mass denotes the weight. Okay, anything. For example, if you are carrying a bag of sugar or anything, okay, so it is going to have some weight in it. So it is a solid, it is a form of matter and it has weight. So the heavier an object, the more mass it has. For example, if you're carrying 1 kg of sugar, it is not going to weigh you that much. Okay, if you're going to carry a 25 kg bag of rice, so why it weighs more compared to 1 kg of sugar? Because the object is heavier and the more mass it has. The next thing is regarding the matter is it also occupies space. It means if I take a 1 kg of sugar bag and keep, it is going to occupy some space. That is, it is going to occupy some space means the place. Okay, the place. So it means it has some volume. The same thing, if I'm going to keep a 25 kg bag of rice bag, okay, so it is going to occupy some space. Okay, so the space occupied by 25 kg rice bag is going to be more compared to 1 kg of sugar. It means, so if the mass is more, what happens, it may occupy more space also. Okay, so matter occupies space, it means matter has volume in it. So the two things which we learnt about matter is anything which has mass and it occupies space. Okay, the next thing which we are going to learn about matter is about, first we can learn about substance and then I'll slowly take you to matter. Okay, so a substance is a pure kind of matter having only one kind of constituent particle. Okay, so what is meant by substance? So any matter in its purest form. Okay, so any matter in its purest form and it has only one constituent particle, then it can call as a substance. Then it can be called as a substance. So substance is a pure kind of matter having only one kind of constituent particle. For example, atom or molecule they have given. Okay, water, iron, gold, aluminum and oxygen are examples of substances. Okay, so these are different substances which are in its purest form. Okay, next, all substances are matter, but all forms of matter are not substances. Just you might be wondering, what is this? So all substances are matter. Okay, so all substances are matter, but all forms of matter are not substances. It means a substance is a pure form of matter, that is, it is the same throughout. Okay, throughout it is made up of a single form of a material or a substance. Okay, so let us take the examples of soft drinks and soil. Okay, so in what category these two are put means, these both are a mixture of different substances. For example, a soft drink or a soil. A soil is made up of different kinds of material, different substances. So in that category, what happens is soft drinks and soil are called as a mixture of substances. So it is for this reason they are saying all substances are matter, but all forms of matter are not substances. So the second part is all forms of matter are not substances, because different forms of matter, for example solids and liquids, okay, these are two different matters. If they are combined together, I cannot say it is a substance. Okay, because the substance is one which should be in its purest form. Okay, the next thing which we are going to discuss is particulate nature of matter. So human beings, once the topic of matter was initiated, okay, many scientists came with their ideas, how it will be, okay, so how it will be, so how the matter will be, okay, so what it is made up of. So they were with different views, and they all came out with different views, and they proposed their views. Okay, so one school of thought, okay, one set of scientists told that what happens is, if we take a piece of matter, for example a stone, and break it into smaller pieces and break these once again into further smaller pieces, what happens? The process can be repeated any number of times. So what happens is, once again it keeps on getting repeated continuously. If you do also, you will be getting smaller pieces of the same material. Okay, so that was brought about by the Greek philosophers Plato and Aristotle. Okay, what they told was, if you take a big piece of stone and you start breaking it into smaller pieces, what happens is you get the same pieces, okay, but the size gets reduced. That is the only thing that happens. Okay, so this idea was brought about by the Greek philosophers Plato and Aristotle. The second school of thought was, actually they told that when you break, okay, that process of subdivision of matter can be repeated only for a limited number of times. That is, I can take a chalk piece or whatever the substance, okay, if I take and I start, if I keep on breaking it, what happens? Up to one point, up to some extent only, I can break it into tiny particles. Further, you will reach a point where you will not be able to further divide that particle. Okay, so that is called as the smallest indivisible particles. So as you keep on breaking the particle, what happens is you will reach a point where you will not be able to divide it, further divide it. Okay, so that is called as atoms. Okay, so this was brought about by the Greek philosophers, once again Lucifus and Democritus. Okay, and the term atom was coined by the person called Democritus. So now we are going to discuss about the different states of matter. So now, till now we have discussed about what is meant by matter. Okay, anything that has mass and occupies space is called as the matter, and what is meant by substance. And next we are moving on to different states of matter. Okay, so matter can be classified in many ways. Okay, so the two ways of classifying the matter is based on the first classification is based on the physical state of matter. Okay, so in that way, okay, with respect to physical state of matter, we are classifying as solid, liquid and gas. Okay, the second thing is with respect to chemical composition of matter. Okay, so with respect to chemical composition, how we are classifying or how we are dividing the matter is as element, compound or mixture. Okay, so these are the two ways to classify the matter. The first thing is based on the physical state, you're classifying the matter as solid, liquid and gas, and the next one is based on the chemical composition, you are classifying it as element, compound or mixture. Okay, so next, the next thing is matter can ordinarily exist in three states. So the three states of matter, okay, so from our childhood we keep on learning about solid, liquids and gas. The three forms in which a matter can exist is solid, liquid and gas. So why it exists? So what is the reason behind it? Why some substances are solid, why some are liquid, why are some gaseous? If I heat, this gets converted to liquid, and when I further heat it, once again it is getting converted to gases. Okay, and there are some substances, what happens is the solid that gets directly converted to gas. So these are different processes which we are going to learn in this lesson. Okay, so now let us see this one. Okay, what about the intermolecular forces? So why it is happening? So why solids are in that way? Okay, so why solids are closely packed? So how it is packed? So how it is very rigid in nature, but liquid is not so much rigid. What happens? Okay, what is there inside each and every matter? Okay, so what does that means? It is the force which is holding the solid molecules together. Okay, and that force is called as the intermolecular force. So it is this intermolecular force which is helping the solid to hold its molecules together. Okay, so because of that only the solid particles, okay, the solid as a whole is very rigid. So the particles are hold, okay, they are tightly bonded. They are tightly bonded by this intermolecular forces. So for example, if you are holding your hands, okay, on of your friends on both the sides, and you're playing ringa roses, okay, think of your school days, childhood days. Okay, so when you are tightly holding your friends, what happens? It will be difficult for you to break the chain. Okay, the same thing only happens with respect to solids. Okay, so what happens is each one of you are like particles. Okay, each players of the ringa roses, okay, are particles. They are holding the other particles, okay, other people on either side, so that they are tightly bonded, and it makes or it gives a solid a rigid nature. Then what happens is, so this gives the solid a rigid nature. Okay, then what happens is, if suppose you are passing on heat or thermal energy, so what happens is one form of matter, okay, can change into the other form. So on heating or by thermal or by pressure, what happens is you can convert one form of matter to the other. So that is, a solid may get converted to liquid, liquid may get converted to gaseous, and so on. So the first thing with respect to solid. Okay, so before going into solid, just see the various states of matter, that is solid. So see, in solid, the particles of the solids are very closely packed. I've already told you they are closely packed because of the intermolecular forces between the particles. Okay, and one more thing which we have to know about solid is it has definite size and it has definite shape, which do not change on their own. Okay, at normal pressure and temperature, what happens? The solid is rigid, it has definite size and it has definite shape, and it do not change on their own. But what about liquids? In liquids, the particles are very loosely packed and they do not have a definite shape. Okay, but they occupy volume. They have volume and they take the shape of the container. So in gases, see the things, the particles are very freely to move around. Okay, they don't have that intermolecular forces. So the intermolecular forces is very weak when compared to solid and liquid. So in liquid, the intermolecular forces is somewhat lesser than solid but greater than gases. So it makes them to hold somewhat together Okay, and it takes the shape of the container. Rather, it does not